All right, another one and another one. Back again, trading view or trade analysis 99. Let's go. Let's jump right into it, y'all. All right. So we're going to start with the good old Bitcoin. The coin, one coin to rule them all, right? One coin to bind them. One coin all in your mind and one coin to find them. Ah, 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 ah. All right. So let's go ahead and check this out. We're going to go ahead and go up to the weekly again. So, I mean, when you look at this, we have some neat little structure. So, I mean, of course, let's just start. Well, let me turn off this magnet. Come down and we just shoot up like a rocket ship going to the moon, or unlike Artemis, right? We go back to the moon, right? So we went to the moon once, go back, and now we just dropped off. And that's honestly intermediate structure. So we broke down. And what we'd want to see is on the weekly, we'd want to see it come back up here before going short again. So we have that. Let's go to the 3-day. We're going to go ahead and look left again. And of course, we just continuously see got some intermediate structure. We break that. Well, it's actually equal lows. So we got some equal lows going on. We break all-time highs. And then we come and we'll say that break. And now we're somewhere like right here, right? So do we start going up or do we continue down? I think maybe we start going up. If we go up, we go see something like that, right? That's optimistic. But if you're looking intermediary here, I guess you could say if we're doing supply and demand, or excuse me, if we're doing support and resistance, like the good old folks in the real world do, you could say that's the zone there. But I don't really like that very much. So let's go down to the 1-day. Nothing really here that I see, right? We just see price just continues to bounce around in this area. We saw, again, this box right here, right? We got a NB there. And we're having a large impulse right now. If we look at the candlestick structure, we could go ahead and see, well, dropped off. And it started to want to come back up, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Higher low, higher high, then lower low, lower high, lower low. Now we're seeing an impulse, but we still, if we were looking at candlestick structure, we haven't quite broken this intermediary candlestick structure there. So let's go ahead and go down a bit further. Let's look at it. It'll be a bit introspective today. So again, this is just some random area that I just drew up, but let's riddle me this, Batman. Let's go ahead and move this guy over here. Move this box down there. So if we were going to go ahead and say boom, break, right? Then we got price just shooting up. So finally, right, we could say price right here. It broke. Then we say we have this area here. So we just go ahead, as we've been doing all week, we've been making a case that this is the zone right there, right? Let's go ahead and delete these drawing lines. So on the 4-hour, that's the zone that we were looking for it to come into. And you see it tapped in there quite nicely. So what do we do now? Well, we're starting to see a break structure here. So if we're going this lower time frame, or really 4-hour structure, we saw that, right? Because it broke right here, right? Break, where that come from? Now we're breaking here. Now we'd want to see something like this, right? We want to see it come in here And I'd say we could see it come down to here. Although it looks like we have this bar that's touching in there. Maybe we say this area, right? So what we'd want to say is, let's put an alert here at 19,458. We're going to put an alert here and wait for it to come and tap in. And we're going to go ahead and use our BitGet alert system. Hit that, boom, bam, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And we gone. All right, let's go down to the 1 hour. Let's see what else we got going on here. What's going on here? All right. So, yeah, we have this large move up. It's just, there's impulse, right? Just these large impulsive candles up after impulse after impulse. And maybe we need to start to cool down a little bit. So we just look left and look for a zone where we could find a potential short from. And right, we see some right here, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, just drop. Okay, so then Brandon, what are we looking for here? I will go ahead and look for it to come here. I mean, we're already super impulsive up, right? But I will look for it to come here before I look for a short. And we're gonna call that, we're gonna leave that supply. Let's make sure I put this as demand. No, I didn't. All right, great. So those are this is the zone that we're gonna look to trade between, or rather the range that we're looking to trade between this $21,623 and $19,458 range. So we're gonna wait for one of these alerts to go off, and then we could potentially take a trade. Let's go down to the euro. Boom. Okay. As we know, we had some big news over there with our European folks. Rest in peace, Miss Elizabeth II, the Queen. And we are at the 4 hour mark. Let's go up to the daily. We're looking at the daily. And we had this last MB here, which presented this last supply zone here from, this is $1.03 euro to $1.02 euro. So what we'd want to see is we want to see it come up into here before we take any additional shorts to go lower. Let's go down to the 4 hour and scan. Looks like if you look at this intermediate price action, boom, came up, came down, and it's just now breaking back up. So we're going to say, let's move this down here. Use that entire area as the MB. Let's look for a demand zone in here somewhere. Now we have two. And depending on how hard this comes down, we could see it come down into here. We also could see it come down into here. I would want to take this lower one. So I'm not in any rush, in any hurry. So I'm going to go ahead and take an alert here and wait for it to get tapped in. Again, patience seems to be a virtue for sure, especially when you're on the lower time frames. There's plenty of opportunities, so no need to rush it. Great. So we're just going to go ahead and wait for the 99-cent euro level, and we'll go from there. Well, let's drop down to the hourly and see what else we see. So if we're looking at this yet again, we could say came up, came down, then it broke. See this right here? So that means this will be valid. But then what happened after that? It came back down, then it broke structure again. So then it would be that same zone that we were looking at on the 4-hour. You see? This one that I just recently erased, which in that case, I would actually, since we want to see it come up, I will go ahead and put this here, and I'll move my alert up. Because I think ultimately we want to go bullish today. We're already 0.50% in the green on the day. So let's go to an hour. Let's go to the 30. Let's see what's happening here. So we see this move right here, right? And what do we have? We have some nice areas. Do we have nice areas? We do. So we're going to go ahead and move this down here. I like that. I like that area better. Because we still have some imbalance in here and then in here as well. And more recently, you can see we pushed up, right? Pushed down, pushed up, pushed down, pushed up, then broke. So maybe we come back up here before falling off. So what we could say in the very short term, we have something like this. And inside of that, we have something like this. And we'd be looking to take a short off of this area with the bias that we're ultimately going higher. So we'd be looking at something like this, right? Let's go down to the 15. Let's go a bit more micro. I don't see anything here. 5. I mean, you just have these large areas of imbalance. It looks like it just wants to fall off the face of the earth. And maybe we'll let it. But for now, we're happy to just wait and see if it gets to our zones or not. So we're going to go over to the Nasdaq. Let's go to the daily. Inside of the daily, we have structure up, down, up, down. Where are we going next? So we could say last up move. Then we had a break here. Great. And this break, where did it come from? I mean, we're still seeing the same stuff over and over again. But you see it came and mitigated open, though, at the end of the day. You could say, that doesn't look like somewhere where I want to trade from. Well, then let's go find somewhere to trade from. Let's go to the 6-hour. See here. Now we have a little bit more clarity. We had it open, it came in, mitigated that. We had it open, liquidated that, and then came up. Had another very, very short structural point put in to come back higher. So potentially looking at, right, we have this, we have that, we have this, and we have that, we have this, we have that, we have some playing around in here, right? We have stuff like that. So let's go to a 3-hour. Tough. It's tough. You have a lot of movement and nothing's extremely clear. This is kind of clear here, actually. we were to do something like that, if we were to say something like that, but it looks like we've already broken that. So this break came from here. If we're looking at something like this. Let's go to a 1 hour time frame. Okay, so now we're on the 1 hour time frame, and your boy is seeing some stuff. Okay, we're getting that market vision. We're getting that market vision back, y'all. So now we have price coming down, coming up, coming down, and now we've just broken this. Okay, well, we broke that. Where did this break ultimately originate from? Well, from my eyes, I see something here. But is that completely clear? And it's really choppy price action. It could be very much debatable. We could even say something like that, or even down into here. Let's look again. Let's look at some more price action here. It opens, it comes down, mitigates, and then takes off. Yeah, if I want to take a trade, I'm saying we're bullish still. I'm going to go ahead and put that as a demand and wait for alert to go off. Let's go down to 15, see what's going on. Okay, 15, nothing there. Let's go to 5. I would move that there. And let's just wait. Let's take off that alert actually. Let's delete it. Let's put it back on because sometimes it does it wrong for me. And we're going to go and see if there's any. It's like we have price, push, push, push. So then we're potentially, after this push, break down. We're potentially in here. Same for a short. But ultimately, what we want to see is we want to see it come. We had this large move down in a large area of imbalance, and we want to see it come all the way up here before we think about, okay, well, if it breaks this structure, then I'd say we're pretty bullish. But I'd look for a short up at that area. So that's what I'm looking at on the Nasdaq or US 100. Let's look at oil. Oil, we're not really trading that right now, but as you can see, oil been having some pushes. So push, push, up, right? Broke that. Did it break? It didn't break that, no. It finally broke. And where did this come from? Came from here. Then we broke down. So then we'd be looking at that as a zone. We came up, we broke down again. So then we'd be looking in here for a zone. But as you can see, it did actually come and mitigate that area there. So we only have about not very much of an imbalance left. So we're coming up here. We have this small intermediary candlestick structure going on here, fractal, because we're at the 3 hour right now. So you could say something like that. Let's take that short. But I'm not going to trade oil this week. So we're not even going to really look at it. And UJ, we're just going to take that off the chart because I'm not really even interested in UJ right now. And let's look at gold. Gold, I love gold. I love gold. Gold is awesome, right? Everyone loves gold. So one day, let's see where we're at with it. Okay, break down, come up. Okay, let's see here. Boom. And we're just in the area. I mean, we're still in this area, and we've been in this area all week, right? So let's go down to the 4 hours, see what we see. Let's go a little bit more micro. Okay. We have some choppy ass price action, right? We come down, we come all the way up. come down in here to test. So I think we're gonna continue up. It looks like it can continue up. So why not? Why not continue up, right? So if we're looking left here, let's take this point. Oof. I guess you could say that. Got some intermediate break. Where'd it come from there? We broke down again. And we broke back up. We came back down to test something in here. And then we broke up again. Now it looks like we might be going down to ultimately come up. Let's go to the 30. Let's see what we see. Came down. So this actually did break. So we said something like this, right? Something like that. And this actually broke that too. So now we'd want to see it come somewhere in here before taking a trade. But to be honest, I'm looking at it right now and I don't see anything very delicious here. I mean, it just looks like bland tomato soup that nobody ever eats unless it's gourmet. You know, they usually have some basil tomato soup some places and it's actually quite delicious. But this just looks like that bland, plain, tomato pasty, disgusting soup that you don't want to really eat, but you need to because, you know, you might be broke and that's all you got in the cabinets. But it happens like that sometimes. So we want to see something like that. Ultimately, we're starting to see some bearish movement, some bearish signs. So, ooh, this is tough. This is very tough. I don't really see anything. So if I don't see anything, I'm just not gonna. I'd want to see price, I guess, continue to move and form. Because in my mind, all of this is just extremely hideous. I mean, we could take this. We can do something like that. And so we want to see if we're overall bullish. Maybe we see some stuff down here. I guess technically looks kind of ugly, but we could say we want to see it coming in there. We'll see what happens when it gets here. And we'll put that alert there. And that's pretty much it for today's morning analysis of 9-9. It's your boy B Phil. We've been here, Trade Life with B Phil. Go ahead, check out my other videos. Tell me what you think. Make sure to hit that like button, comment, and even subscribe. And I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.